I have a dream.
It's one small step for man.
I am the greatest.
You want something, go get it. Period.
What's up, my fellow dreamers, doers, achievers? This is episode number 14 of the Dream Big & Co. podcast. And I know we've been gone for a little while. I know it's been a couple months since we had a guest on. But this episode and the next couple episodes will be the rounding out of our first season. And these guests truly complement what we're trying to do, what we represent, what we want people to embody. You know, this person especially has a true passion behind what he does, and he has a larger purpose driving him to allow him to go on to great things for the next decade, 2 decades, 3 decades, hopefully the rest of his life. He has a great mindset, and beyond that, you can see in his work how much he truly cares about what he does, what he wants to express in his art. And to give you a little context, he's a producer, and we'll touch on a wide range of those things, but he truly has a unique story, and I'm glad to have him on as we're back rolling into things. And one quote before I show you a clip of what he has produced recently and something we referred to in the podcast. And this quote is, "Passion is your car, purpose is your map." Passion is your car, purpose is your map. And if you want to hear Olisa's beat and what he produced recently, we talk about the context of it in the episode. But here it is. Here's a little clip and some of Olisa's artwork and what he puts together. And there it is, there you have it, some production behind the scenes. And one last end note before we get into this conversation, this discussion. Let's talk about our sponsor. Today's sponsor is a unique one. It's an unpaid sponsorship, but it's a nonprofit we truly want to highlight because they have an amazing vision and mission, and their goal is truly grand, and I believe they're doing an awesome, amazing job with their work. This nonprofit is Direct Relief. Direct Relief is a unique humanitarian aid organization active in all of America in over 80 plus countries. They have surpassed $500,000 in medical aid and 100 million in doses of medicine given. Along with that, Forbes has listed Direct Relief as a top 10 U.S. charity, and Fast Company has listed them as one of the 10 most innovative nonprofits. But beyond their remarkable achievements and amazing accolades for all of their work, is a 70-plus year history of strong values and principles, something we truly admire. One of our goals at Dream Big & Co. is to rid the world of poverty and help those in need. Direct Relief does just that, since their mission statement is to improve the health and lives of people affected by poverty or emergencies, without regard to politics, religion, or ability to pay. It's all equal, just trying to help people who need it most. Lastly, to add to this, you can follow them on social media at Direct Relief and even donate to their causes on their website at www.directrelief.org. And without further ado, here's episode 14 with a truly special guest. Yeah, just to start it off for the people that will be listening, I know we talked about it, but what is your background, your backstory, and how you're here in the States right now?
All right. My dad applied for the EB-5 stuff, which is like having a permanent residency in the United States, and he got it. And after he got it, he didn't really like the educational system in Nigeria for high school, so he transferred me from there to New York in EF Academy, and ever since then, I've been here.
And where are you from?
I'm from Nigeria.
Nigeria?
Yeah.
And I know we didn't state it, but this is Olisa Uche-anya, and I know him through, as you all know, my partner and good friend Fidel, And how do you know Fidel? Just so people know, because he's been on the podcast as well.
All right. Fidel was his Ghanaian, and I have a lot of Ghanaian friends, so it was just like it was mutual, and he ended up being my roommate because just because.
Yeah. And would you want to get right into your entire like journey of being here and one thing that you're like solely focused on and what we talked about before and like how you're progressing with that journey and development of that skill?
Personally, I just want to be a music producer. I understand that it's a very risky thing to do, so it's kind of smart to have a backup, and that's where school comes into play. People think that like school is like the number one option, and like whatever you want to do is the backup. But to me, like school is the backup, and because like I never really know, it's like I just want to like make sure that I have something to fall back on in case this doesn't work out. But then like from a very young age, I just wanted to like experiment a lot of things that I saw on TV, like like all these athletes that look cool doing what they did, and like all these musicians, or like even like cinematographers, or like even like in academics, like real estate management and stuff like that. It kind of looked cool, but so like I tried to experiment everything, but then one thing that I did realize was that like all through doing trying all these things, one thing that was constant was me being able to appreciate music and play the piano, and like just like want to like have the urge to like kind of like make or create beats. And I didn't really realize it until I was like, okay, like I've tried all these things and like it's not really working out, but then like I know that like I'm really talented with music, and that's what I have, so I might as well just make use of what I have.
Yeah, you really found your talent, and you're going full force ahead with it. And the one thing I want to ask is, how do your parents feel? Because I know the culture might be different over there. How do they feel about like your journey and endeavor right now? And how are you trying to, in a way, empathize with them, and maybe block out some of the noise that might come with this difficult but also exciting and rewarding journey?
Yeah, I mean, they support me with it, but then at the same time, they feel, as I said, they feel like it's my second choice. Rather, they feel like it's a hobby, and like this is nothing against them. I know that they mean the best for me, but it's like before when I was younger, and like I was still like trying to find out what I wanted to be. I think like there was a point that I said that I wanted to be a lawyer, and I wanted to be able to like one day be able to like give a speech like Barack Obama, and they were like really like gassed for it. And like they're like, okay, I'm gonna give you this book to read. I'm like, if you want to like come like see how things are done here, like just let me know. And now that like I've grown up and I've kind of found a sense of like what I actually want to do, and like I know that this is what I want to do. My dad kind of realized this summer that I was really getting serious with this music stuff, and then when he asked me what do I plan on doing with this, I said that I want to make a living out of being a music producer, and he said that I support you, but all I can do is just pray for you. So it's like I understand where he's coming from. This is like nothing against him. It's just like it's like two different energies. Like one is that like, okay, like I support you, but then like he kind of like paid for voice lessons for me, and like brought me like a storage bank so that I can keep on my beats. That's his way of like supporting me, and I really appreciate it. But it's just to him, he feels like, and like even to my mom as well, like even to my whole family, like they feel like it's more of a hobby than it is a professional thing to do. And I feel like it's just, I don't blame them, because like that's how everybody thinks. Like they think it always sounds crazy until it's done. So I can't really blame them for that. It's just for me to go out there and do it.
Yeah, I was just about to say, you can show them with your results that this isn't just a hobby. It's something greater. It's something you truly love. And since maybe you don't have them as much as a tribe and people maybe to support you, who do you lean on or look to be your tribe, or like be your guide during your build up to being a music producer and doing great things one day with that?
I mean, it's kind of like unconscious, but I also look up to them because like I know that they're always going to be like by my side no matter what happens. And I actually have a sister who she's my second sister. Her name is Ago. She also wants to be an artist. She is an artist, but then like she's just not popular yet. She's into Afrobeats. It's more like Nigerian music, and she hasn't made it yet, but she's still on track to make it. But then right now she's working for Deloitte, so she kind of knows how it is, and like I always look up to her because she's been through like a bit of everything that I'm probably going to go through, so she understands where I'm coming from and where I'm trying to go, and she knows what I need, and she knows the things that I need to hear. So I also look up to her like a lot out of all of that.
Yeah, that's great. And I know also we talked about this off the record, but how important is it in your music production and also in life having someone who's completely honest with you and just straightforward? Like, how important is that feedback for your growth?
Oh, it's very important. As of now, I have like two people that I've like constantly sent my beats to just to give me feedback, because like they're always honest with me. At first, it was like I just sent it to like almost anybody, and like just listen to this and let me know what you think. And then most people are either adamant about it or just like it's nice, whatever. But they're like just two certain people that always like like they always let me know how they actually feel about it, if they're feeling it, if they're not feeling it, if it needs like if it's a dead beat, or if it's like or if it's really nice. So I always trust like two specific people too.
Yeah, that's great. That's so important to have those people as you progress. And the one thing we can get more into the music side of things, we can pick up on other stuff later. But in producing your music, I've listened to it. You showed me all your beats, and trust me, the ones who are listening, he's done a phenomenal job, and his progression is really awesome to see. And you can see in his music the way you express yourself. So I want to ask you, how important is it to express yourself in your music, and how do you want to change the way music is now? Because I know people might not do that as much, but how are you going to add value to people and do that through your work?
When I started this, it was kind of like confusing, because like I started from the scratch. I didn't really know what my purpose was with this music production, but then over time I kind of got to realize that in the world of hip hop, not like when it comes to beats, instrumentals, and stuff like that, it's kind of, most sounds are, to me as it seems, most sounds are not natural, in the sense that like you can't really pick up a piano or like a live instrument and really recreate the sounds that are made in the beat of most hip hop songs. And from a very young age, I always had a thing for live performances. I've been in school bands, I've been in other bands, and it's just like, it means so much more to me when you can really creatively connect with other people that play different instruments, and like come together and like just like put out like a great art. And nothing against like people who make hip hop beats or like stuff like that, but the way I say it, I just want to be able to, let's say that there's a concert and then it's my beat that like is being played. I just want to be able to give artists the options of using like live instrumentals, because in most of my music I use instruments that you can actually find in the world, not like instruments that like synthesized and like you'd actually have to get the computer to play the beat in the concert. Like you can actually work things out with people to make beats, like the choir or a saxophonist or a pianist or even a drummer. So that was my main goal, starting with this music production, which is to be able to give fans who pay their hard-earned money to watch live concerts the pleasure of like just watching people creatively connect together with different instruments and voices. Because I feel like if it's just your voice for a live concert, it's kind of like, it's like half a live concert if it's your voice. To me, it's full if you can connect with like the instrumentalists as well, because because it's your voice and the instrumentals that make up the song. So if you can connect them from a life perspective, and that's really what.
Yeah, and do you think from a young age your experience with all those instruments has played a role in the way you produce now? Would you say it's a vital thing that that has happened?
Yeah, it's funny because when I was younger, I'm a Christian, by the way, so I think in America it's called Episcopal churches. In Nigeria it's Anglican churches. They're very like church organ like. Most of the music is organish. Most of the music is from the organ, and it kind of like rubbed off on me from a very young age. So when I went to my first high school in Nigeria, it was more like conventional, like pianos and drums, and I was still from like the traditional organ stuff. And people made fun of me for it because they were just like, "Oh, you're so lame, you know. People can play this and that, but you can just play the organ." I mean, at first it was kind of like, I kind of felt bad. I ended up learning how to play the piano and like some certain skills like that, but then it was just, I actually appreciate growing up in that kind of church because it's kind of weird because like I feel like I just love music so much that like I even observe the weirdest things in music, and like just like some like chord progressions or like the way that like the left hand in the organ is being played, like it's kind of like rubbed off on me, and I've gotten like so much inspiration from things from that nature. So I really like how I was raised in that sense.
Yeah, it's a unique way you were raised, and it's also given you a different perspective.
Yeah.
Because most people can be brought up in the common, piano, mainstream instruments, but you were with the organs and you saw that environment, and it gives you a different perspective, and that's so cool. You look at the little things when you listen to stuff.
Yeah.
That's so awesome. Would you want to touch on the one beat you made and how you used the sound from the ambulance? Because I thought that was really unique. That was really cool.
It was just on a casual Wednesday, I think, or on a Tuesday. I was just making a beat. I was like, okay, I've made all these beats, but then like I don't think I've made one that like can be an actual banger. That like when it just comes on, like people are just gonna lose their shits. So I made a drum pattern, and from then I just made like a bass line, and like everything just seemed so smooth, and like I did all that, but then something was missing, and then it was like at night I was going to Chick-fil-A or Subway, I can't remember, and like on the way back there was an ambulance coming, and like it was there for a while, so like the sound of the ambulance was just recording and recording, so I was like, I feel like this like creates suspense, and like my beat also creates suspense, so I kind of like recorded it, and then I sampled it and used it on my beat, and
that's so cool. And just like you do you say when you form your beats, do you let it flow in a way? Do you just let it come together, or do you like sit down one night and just put everything together as much as possible? What is more of your way of working? Because the one thing I would say, and maybe I'll predict it correctly, but I feel like you're more of a person to let it flow, and that's the way life should be. It should be for you, not against you. Just letting it flow and letting the things come to you as you progress.
Yeah, you're correct.
Yeah.
I kind of let it flow. At first, when I started, I just from my inspirations, like people like Metro Boomin or Zaytoven or like those people that they're like, oh, I make at least one beat a day. I was like, okay, that's like hard work. I actually do that. So for like a month or two, I was trying my best to make one beat a day, but then the thing was that like I found myself forcing some things that like I shouldn't be forcing, and like it just didn't sound good to me. So from then on, I just started like taking it like as it comes, like as an inspiration comes or like as an idea comes, I'm gonna just use it rather than force it, because when I force it, like it's not me, it's not like what I'm trying to express. So
yeah, no, it's funny you say that, the beat per day, because I've been hearing a lot like you should produce more content. This is the time where you have this large distribution channel, and there's so many outlets, and content is king. Just produce. But I feel like you're more of a quality over quantity.
Yeah.
And that's beautiful in a way. You know, you produce greater work that way.
Yeah, definitely. It's I mean, like, this is what I say to myself. I don't really say to like other people, but then like there's some certain songs that I know that like it's like this beat is gonna make me like more than $1 million in the future. Like I just know because like I just feel like if people hear this like and with like a vocalist on top of it, it's just gonna like do numbers.
Yeah, no, it's a funny thing you brought up, which is a good segue into the next topic. Do you use some sort of, you know, auto-suggestion, which I'll explain in a sec, or law of attraction in some type of way? Because auto-suggestion is just repeating something in your head and like becoming like a habit of your thoughts so that it's like ingrained in your subconscious, so you constantly think like your goal over and over and over every day. Do you feel like you're a person to you know, do that, you know, be a master of your thoughts and use, you know, the attraction to bring those things you want into your life? Do you use that, or do you just have that goal there and you just work?
I mean, I feel like it's a bit of both, like because you always have to have that goal to begin with, and like it's good to know where you're going and like how you're working towards it. But then at the same time, like I'm not trying to sound like, you know, like I've never had a bad day, because like I've had like lots of bad days in terms of making music. It's just like, okay, like I feel like I run out of ideas, like that's the end of it ever. But like other times I actually just get inspiration. So like I just like always tell myself, this is gonna work out for you. Like you're so talented. Like God didn't give you this talent just for no reason. Like you just didn't learn how to play the piano from birth for no reason. So it's and like I always try to like envision myself like in my room. I actually have the studio, and like when I use it, like I see myself in an actual studio. Like,
exactly. Yeah.
Like I just see myself like in an actual studio. Even like back in Nigeria, like when I drive, I just like see myself like in like, let's say like a Rolls Royce, like going to work and like just like
vice versa.
Yeah, getting stuff done. So it's just I always like tell myself that like, you know, this is what's going to happen, and like this is where you're going to be in the future. Everything's going to be okay. Like everything's going to play out fine.
That's great. That's great to hear. And one thing you said that I want to touch on is sometimes you hit a block. What is your way of taking a step back and getting away from that block? I know way to get back to creativity and just take a step back.
Oh, I just if let's say like I'm trying to work on something and it's not working out for me, it's like I've lost inspiration, or it's just not working out for me. I just turn my mind away from it. I just don't pay attention to it. I do something else to distract me, whether it's like play a game or like watch something, or like even like take a walk as you said, or just like, you know, meditate, or just like do something else, like, you know, like talk to my friends or stuff like that. I just like do anything that is not music to distract myself. Or I also listen to like other people's music, just like, you know, like see like if
draw some inspiration.
Yeah, exactly. So
that's great. And this can be a two-part question in a way, but we always end the podcast with, what is your ultimate dream? What is that one thing that before you leave this earth, you have to accomplish it no matter what, and you're working towards it? So the first part is, what is that ultimate big dream? And the second part is, what are you doing each and every day to get there? What is your taking action in a way?
the truth is, I've not really thought about what my ultimate dream is. I've kind of like, I kind of have, the way I'm wired, yeah, it's like, I want to like achieve something, then like go on to something else. Like, just like I told you before, like, at first, my dream was to be able to produce for Drake at least like one song in my life. Like, if I do that, I feel like, you know, I'm successful. And after that, but it's like after that, what next? Like that just can't be all. So it's like, at first, like I just want to be financially free, but then at the same time, like that's not like, I want to be able to give back. I want people to be able to appreciate my music, and I just want to be at a point where like I can give back to the community, just not my family, but like to like everyone possible.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that is the first time I've heard something like that, and I really felt that from the heart. I really did, because most people, they say they have the one dream, you know, they say what they're doing, but with you, it's more of like, yeah, I can achieve something, but success is, the word itself is like something I don't like to use, to be honest. It's more of like an endpoint, but you're looking past that. You're like, what can I do next? So it's awesome to see you don't have a limit or a stopping point, because life is never over. You're never going to stop learning. You're never going to stop achieving. So I commend you for that. I really do.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I appreciate that.
Yeah. And is there anything else you would like to touch on while we're here, just for the people or for yourself or just in general?
Just your weight, man. Just your weight. I feel like at least in the next 10 years, if not less, like maybe 5, I feel like I'd be people will be able to appreciate my music, and it's gonna change my life forever.
That's amazing. That's so great. That's awesome, man. And where can people follow you in your journey or like see your music? Do you have like a social media, or is there any place you put it, or no?
Yeah, I have Instagram. But it's like you're not gonna find my music there.
That's
but
fine.
Yeah, it's Olisa at Olisa _ Uche-anya. That's my Instagram, and that's my Twitter as well. So.
Awesome. Okay, I'll tag that in the footnotes for the podcast. But man, really appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
It means a lot.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming here, and thank you for listening. If you enjoyed this episode and what we're doing at Dream Big & Co., it would mean a lot if you can become more involved with the Dream Big community itself. You can do so by subscribing to this podcast on any of the following podcasting platforms. There are 10 of them. Our channel on YouTube at Dream Big & Co., and follow us on social media at Dream Big & Co. We recently just launched, and we have a lot of stuff planned for the years to come. Most importantly, we ultimately do this for you to add value to your lives. So if there's anything you like, dislike, or want changed, please rate us this episode and leave a review. You can even email us at dreambigandco@gmail.com. Thank you, and crush your week, weekend, and have a great one.
The podcast you just heard was made using Anchor. Ever thought about making your own podcast? Anchor makes it really easy for anyone to get started. It's a one-stop shop for recording, hosting, and distributing podcasts. Best of all, it's 100% free. Sign up now at anchor.fm/new. That's anchor.fm/new to get started.